Alright, am I streaming? Starting. Come on. Perfect. Now, how do I sound? Starting. Perfect. Alright. Swap back over here. I'll pull this up on my phone so I can be sure that everything's working. Oh, like that one VR, there we go. No, not vegan VR. That's dumb and stupid. Alright. Now, let's check on my phone, double check I have audio. I can be sure that everything's working. Perfect. Alright, so this is just going to be a kind of a basic stream of me making some elevators. I figured it would be a bit more complicated than normal to put into just a raw tutorial. So I'm just gonna do it in a stream first time, and we'll see how smart it goes. It may go horribly, which is kind of what I'm anticipating, so we'll just have to see. Let's start out here. Let's make a floor here quick, just somewhere for us to exist. Alright, so let's just make a elevator. So this is our empty that'll control the whole thing. And let's throw some walls into this. Let's drop my video quality down a bit because I'm lagging on my phone because, hooray, bad internet. That's always funny, isn't it? No, let's just go with 5. 20. Alright, so this will be our elevator shaft. And here, let me do elevator shaft. Because we'll have a separate object that will actually be our real elevator. Which I'm gonna place right at the bottom. And just call this elevator. And now I'll make the script for it elevator. Is there a way to see only your comments on a YouTube stream? Because I do not have enough internet to... Alright, let's hope that fixed it. Hey, welcome back, it's me. I changed the output settings. Let me refresh on my phone to see if the output still has HD options. Oh, freaking whatever. If anything's absolutely god awful, I'm sure someone will complain about it in chat. And if it is, definitely let me know. Like, all right, so. I'm just gonna make the internals of the room. Oh, I've had issues in the past with chat not propagating on my phone for some reason. So if there's someone here watching, could you perhaps post a short comment just for me to know that everything is not going horribly? Let's change this to 0.25. Hey, good. Oh, my phone broke. Oh, there we go. Hey, glad to make sure everything isn't going horribly. Thanks, Twisty 1,000? 10,000. Twisty 10,000. God, that sounds like... I don't even know what that sounds like, but it's funny. I will always leave email notifications enabled for new subscribers, because seeing people's usernames and how like people come up with their usernames is like the funniest thing in the world to me. Like, every username just has an entirely different mindset to it, depending on who the person is that's choosing the username. Sometimes it's like, oh, this is obviously, some MSN auto-generated thing, or something like that. And then sometimes it's like a slight change on how their name is spelled or something like that. But it's always really, really funny to see that. Here. There's an app called YouTube Dashboard. And I guess I just assumed that you would be able to view comments there, because I can't figure out because my internet is, remember, trash, and I'm trying to keep my video from buffering on my phone because I'm worried that me watching my stream will affect the quality of my stream, but I don't know anywhere else to just have comments that update. So if something goes wrong, I guess we'll just have to deal with it. Xbox days, yeah. I grew up with one console, and that was the Nintendo Wii. I never had Xbox days, unfortunately. Or possibly fortunately, depending on how you see it. Alright, so this looks like a reasonable elevator. Oh crap, my phone keeps leaving the stream. Oh, why? Is my stream lagging that bad, or is my phone lagging that bad? Here, let me go off of my Wi-Fi on my phone and see if just that's any better. Alright, whatever. Alright, So this elevator is going to move the body up and down to different positions. And should I have a door? Yeah, let's have a door. Chassis. Does not the chat keep going even if the stream is stop pause? Well, if my phone lags out too much on the stream, it'll think that the stream has ended and will start auto-playing to the next video. Which then, if I'm not watching stream, I will not be able to see chat. That has happened twice tonight. And is, how I call it, not ideal. It keeps pausing. Okay. Low latency. See if that helps anything. I hardly understand OBS settings, so anything you see me doing in there is basically just guesswork. Due to my internet situation, I typically just do the recorded videos rather than the live stuff. Door L. Actually, I should get a reference in here. Alright, so that's our people collider. Small elevator, but I'm only gonna have me to test. Is it still lagging for anyone else, or? Because I don't know OBS. I don't know BS. Ha 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 ha. Look, I'm not a comedian. A VR toolkit or XRS overlay. Well, I actually don't do this in VR. My little dude on the screen is controlled by some fancy combinations of face cam, keyboard detection, and model interpolation to witchcraft. Let's just go with that. Do you know what your up speeds are and what your megabyte per second you're streaming at now? Well, my up speeds at my house here are, I would say, if I remember right, 2 megabytes. So that's what I've got to work with. We got our elevator chassis. We got our elevator doors. Oh, excuse me. Let's put in some other floors that this place can go to. 0, 6. Alright, we'll have these 3 floors. 3 different places for here. 3 different places for our elevator to head out to. Ooh. God, my throat was not prepared for tonight. Good thing I have 1/8 of my water bottle left. You may come to realize that preparing is not something I do. Floors. So this is just going to be a bunch of empty transforms that it moves up and down to. Also, judging by your response time on that, I think I'm maybe 3 minutes or so delayed. Because I'm just seeing your oof lol right now for whenever this propagates for you. Alright. Let's see if that fixes it. Let's refresh my stream. Alright. We're back. I've attempted to drop it to 720. Yeah, that probably works. Whatever. Anyway, we got all the positions down. Now I can finally start doing the thing. Alright, so we need to move this body to the positions of these 4 transforms that I've got here. Alright, awesome. It is 720. Alright, my apologies for the crap video quality, but we'll see how legible it is. Alright. So on our elevator, let's double click this, and since this isn't a tutorial, I won't be using Visual Studio Code. I'll be using Rider. Rider's just my preferential, what's it called, an IDE or something. I just know it's kind of hard to get if you don't have, well, 1, money, or 2, like I have, a college email address. Alright, my headphone cable is caught in my keyboard. Oh well. Alright, so we are going to have public transform array floors. Public does this just have to think for a bit, or what's the error that's going on right now? Here, I'll figure that out in a sec. Public rigid body elevator. Is transform supposed to be capitalized? Did the thing again where it says my stream ended. Did my stream end? I think not. Could you do something on advanced pickups in the future? I probably can. What do you have in mind? 90% of what I do is based on questions in chat. Chat or like comments or stuff like that, or responses on my Twitter. This one is actually from a comment earlier today. A gun or something. So just basically like how to use pickups and pickup use down and integrate stuff like that. Yeah, I could easily do that kind of thing. Let's see. So we're going to just go to update. And for right now, I'm just going to save this, and we can go over here and there we go. Well, unfortunate, but that seems to be what we can get tonight. My internet will theoretically be better when I'm back in college next semester. Man, I wish you could what's it called? I wish you could disable the 2D options from showing up. All the events and the stuff in the scripts have been trying, but lack all the resources. Yeah, there's some weird things. Fortunately, the pickup system is what is most similar to its trigger counterparts. Like, almost everything is like named the same and pretty much functions on the same event. But yeah, I can definitely. Oh yeah, like here, if I type joint, look at, you have to go down past like 10 2D things before you can get to the 5 that you actually want to use. What are you complaining about? Go away. Alright. So let's put you in here. Now we need to have public int target floor. Now this would be the floor that we're presently trying to get to. Hey, no problem. Zivox? Ziva? I never know how to pronounce X's, so sorry. Glad you like the tutorials. Let's see. Okay, we need to go. Okay, actually, we're going to start it from 0 because I don't want to deal with some dumb stuff. So, ground floor will be floor 0. Or we'll have a floor 0 that we don't actually use. Zero, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hooray! All right. Elevator dot move. So there's a thing that was like move towards, if I remember right. Unity move towards. This is a vector 3. Alright, these are really dumb here. Let's see if I can take that vector 3 and apply that to the elevator's velocity. Hi Ethan. Yeah, I was looking for something to do tonight, so unfortunately my internet isn't super up to it right now, so you'll be getting 720p. I guess I can zoom in on my script a bit. Vector 3 dot move towards. And we want floors, target floor. Oh, wait. Dot position. There we go. Wait, that's a vector 3. So wait, it needs its current and its target. Okay, so transform dot position. I've actually never used this script before. Well, this command, I guess. What is it? Speed, float, max distance delta. What on earth is a max distance delta? Distance to move current per call. Is that just speed? Is that just asking for one? Maybe that's speed. Pencils. Yeah, so one of the big issues with Udon at the moment is that syncing is absolute trash and ruins everything. And unfortunately, pens and the stuff are typically something where you're like, oh, I want them to be visible from other people as well. And I did some custom ones a while back just for like one friend, but synchronized position as a button right. Oh god, this one's a bit loud. Alright, I'm literally on one volume, so maybe I just need to quiet down my computer myself. Whatever. But the synchronized position thing wouldn't stay checked for me. So in the script, at the start of the frame, I had to save the position that it's at into a synced variable. And then at the end of the frame, I would set the position to that variable that we'd taken, so that it would sync values that it was constantly placing as the location. It's bad, but it's what I had to do to get that to work. And until Udon has a bit less horrible syncing, it might be a while before you have some of the things you consider more traditional for VRChat. Alright, let's see what our first error is. Let's set this to 1 and see if that issue still exists. And go 2. Oh, maybe max distance delta is how far it can move maximum. Let's just go 100. Sure, why not? That makes sense? Oh, did I miss something? So fortunately, the way I do everything is through an add-on called Udon Sharp, which just uses raw C# scripting and interprets that into Udon information. So since that is reading a code that I've pre-written out, there's no way that it can fully forever ruin that, I think. Whatever. I'm doing this dumb anyway. Yeah, think. But the great thing about that is there's no way that an update can corrupt your save stuff that way. So even if your world does kind of get scrambled, you just download the most recent SDKs and you re-upload your world, and it should be perfectly fine. Should. I mean, I can't tell the future. I don't know what works and what doesn't. All right. I'm also learning what move towards is, so you're going to see a few incorrect things done a few times. Because I feel like I can use that to get what I need to. Because what I don't want to have to do is, like, what I wanted to do is beep, 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 beep. Or if we start from here, it goes beep, 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 and takes longer. I don't want it to, like, take the same distance to get from each one. I want it to make it feel like you're traveling that distance. Yes, the Merlin one. It is a godsend. Alright, so this is obviously not what I need. Ooh, what's a math F? I know what math F means. It means math that uses floats, but there's a version of it for... This is essentially the same as mathf.lerp, but instead the function will ensure that the speed never exceeds max delta. Negative values of max delta pushes the value away from the target. Oh, they're going with time. Oh. Time dot delta time. All right, let's play with that. Theoretically, no, you shouldn't have to sit in a chair for this one. You should just be able to stand in it and it'll move up for you. I've had mixed results with how effective this kind of thing is, because sometimes player physics is good and sometimes it's really not. The new player locomotion that we have in Udon is a lot better than the old one, I'll give it that. Alright. Man, I really do not know what I'm doing here. Distance to move current per call. What does this mean? So if I do 0.1f, it's not gonna work, but it'll give me a different result that will allow me to further understand what it is I'm doing wrong. Yeah, that's one of the things with these streams. I'm just going straight into it and then figuring things out from there. I do not prepare anything. If it's a mesh collider, it likely won't have to sit. Wait, how did I just miss with floor 4? Oh yeah, it is very, like, learning how to do this kind of stuff is very much, you run into a term, like, someone mentioned vector3.move towards the other day, and I was like, hey, that sounds like something. So most of the whole learning for this kind of stuff is just sifting through the Unity documentation. You also want to make sure that it's included on 2018.4 because that's the version we use, and these docs default to 19.4 because that's the current that's the current like full build. I really don't know how I'm supposed to interpret this max distance delta. Okay, because this is definitely like how far this can go max. Here. YouTube automatically saves any live streams, and I try to put them into a playlist called streams. Sometimes I just forget. If I ever forget, just spam any of my comments with, hey, you didn't do this. Because that is how I remember to do things. Oh, God. Alright, so this obviously isn't working. Let's try something else. So we need to get the elevator. Unfortunately, at the moment, you don't have a whole lot to translate. All I have is 3 variables. We just need to do a constant move towards a position. But I want... Okay, there's a lot of ways that you could do this that would be really easy, but it would make the travel time to every floor be exactly the same. And I want you to take that distance, like, as the amount of time, Oh. Actually, we could do that. Maybe we can do that? I'm looking forward to the Alpha Uno graph editor. For consistency, raw code is comfortably. Oh yeah, the new graph editor is going to make me doing tutorials for that kind of stuff so much easier, simply because I can like zoom in really easily at any time and won't have to just rely on remembering like what points to zoom in for, because a lot of times I'll jump in and out of the graph in order to show something in the inspector or the scene and then return to it, and not having to pre-plan those transitions is going to be nice. Yeah, I was in the alpha testing group for the new graph, and it's nice. All right, so I need to start doing something. I've just been sitting here talking to you guys. Elevator dot velocity equals vector 3 dot up times mathf dot lerp transform dot position dot y floors target floor dot position dot y position dot y. And then let's do time being I'm blank. What's the thing where it forces the max of something to be 1 and the minimum to be 0? I'm blanking on it. Oh well. Let's just do this one for now. Have fun with the sleep, and thanks for elevator luck. At the moment it's looking like it, because I was under the impression that I could just use this, but I haven't figured out what this does yet. Maybe I should just copy the script and see. Alright. Force compile script. Play. Let's see what happens. Normalize, that's it. Thanks. Is there some scaling thing happening right now? Hold on. What is this? Because this goes up to there, which puts this at 1.5. What? Let's see what this does. Oh, and just for the record, the way I learn things is not the best way to learn things, because I always just skim any documentation and then just trial and error my way until something just magically works. What in God's... Oh. I think my elevators are getting stuck. Alright, let's see here. Hey, it's going up. Haha. Who knew that the elevator was just literally getting stuck on my shitty floor? Oh, it's still going up. What is my code again? Oh, we're setting velocity. Here, let's give this some drag. Let's just make sure this isn't sliding against anything. Oh Lord, she climbing. Whatever. If transform... No. This elevator is just going to be a friggin' transform. If elevator dot position is less than floors dot target floors bracket target floor position Magnitude. Actually, should not equal. Oop, nah. Less than. Elevator dot position plus equals 0.1 F. All right, this is going to be this is going to be trash and only for testing. This is not what should be used. Oh, this is going to be such a horrible idea. Probably need to hit force compile. Oh, that's not working. Yeah, this was dumb. Alright. And let's just go back to this being a rigid body. Alright. Hello, Spencer Fitzpatrick. Welcome to the stream. This is where I struggle mentally to try to figure out how to move an elevator at a constant speed, because I've never done this before and I wanted to learn how to do it, and I figured, hey, if I'm doing things, people might be interested in that. So here I am doing things. This is also a request from, I believe their name was Ethan. Yep, it's been interesting. There's a thing called vector3.moveTowards that sounds promising, but I don't actually know anything about it. However, I'm gonna do what I do best and copy someone else's code, figure out what it does, and then steal the parts that I like. Just gonna make a folder here. Delete later. I like to call things delete later or delete me, so that in the future, if I ever come across this and don't know what it is, I don't even need to look at what it is. I just know, hey, yeah, delete that. Alright, we'll let this compile a little bit. Let's crack this script open and throw this in here. And we'll save this, see how this looks in Unity, and throw it on an object. Wait, Udon really doesn't support awake? Sure. That's weird. but fine. This doesn't support create primitive. Actually, screw it. I don't need this to be a newt-on behavior. Let's just do this as a raw C#. Wendy's. Nice. That's how, I was about to make some Alpha Rad jokes, but I'm not quite sure how many people around here watch that. Alright, let's pause this and see what happens when this object is in the scene. Well, it's... Alright, this looks promising. Alright, now that I've done the thing, let's reverse engineer this a little bit. Alright, so on update, it creates a float called step, and that's a speed value, which is just 1, times time.delta time. Calculate distance to move. Alright, we're moving 1 step closer. Okay. So they're moving by steps. And transform.position equals vector 3 move towards position. Why is it 1 times time.delta time? Alright, so what I'm seeing here is I only need to copy these 2 things. Alright, so this is using the move towards. And step is just time.delta time right now, because I don't need to multiply a 1 by it. I am convinced that this is what I had done earlier. But oh, can't be too sure of anything. Now can we? VRChat in a nutshell. Alright, if we're doing this, then the elevator probably won't need to be a non-kinematic rigid body. What is happening here? This is the exact same script. Oh. Is it really important to have... I just don't understand. I don't understand. But that's not new to me. Actually, let's just go with 2 for now. Alright, so it's going for... Why is it wiggling like that? Unity, rigid body, move towards point. Oh, this is from 2011. Nope, not going there. Alright, scratching that. You're going back to being a rigid body. You need a rigid body. Don't use gravity. Perfect. Alright, so rigid body to move position doesn't quite move like a move towards, but you can just combine them. Oh, ooh. I am... Alright. Oop. What is this right left acceleration? No, that's not what I need at all. Let's get this up in here and see what happens. Alright, since all these scripts want me to have a public float speed might as well just do that. Alright, target floor 2. Right. This is doing nothing. Screw it. I'll just do it myself. Alright, so let's say we need to... Yeah, we'll just move position. Alright, so I'm going to essentially take this and mod it to be not that. We'll call it Vector 3 new. All right. Alright, let's try someone else on the internet that might know something about this. Alright, Unity, body, move and slow down. Ooh, this looks complicated. I was debating doing lerp for a few of these things. I could just do like a basic lerp to position, but the main thing I want to do with this is have non-equal times to get to each position, so that like the elevator moves at a constant speed until it gets to the location and possibly slows down to that position. But I don't know any of this yet. So this is, you guys are watching me figure out what on earth I'm supposed to be doing. So let's just go to the rigid body page on here. See what kind of fancy methods it's got. It's the density. What even is the density of a rigid body? float new pause equals elevator dot transform dot position dot y. Okay, so I want to get the difference between target and this. So floors, target floor, position dot y minus that. If new pause greater than 1, pause equals 1. If new pause less than -1, new pause equals -1. Picture 3 dot up times new pause. We'll see if this is at all what I need. It is likely not. However, I just need to be trying things at this point. Because the faster I finish this, the faster I can get back to having my air conditioner on. Alright, seems to have overshot it a little bit. Alright, instead of add force, let's do set velocity equals Is this going to be dumb? Is this going to be really, really dumb? Because if it is, it'll be really funny. Wait, this seems reasonable. Oh, is this actually what I needed? Is this working? Is there any way of controlling the player's velocity while on the platform? The set pause of the elevator makes me think it'll make the player phase through the floor. Well, hopefully what will happen is the position underneath the player will like carry him up, or him or her, like, or just let him fall down. But we can definitely, what we can do is we can, as long as the player is inside the elevator, we can constantly set their velocity to be their velocity plus the elevator's velocity. That might not work in the event that that compounds. We'll just have to see. Yeah, depending on how that actually gets implemented, we'll have to see. So yeah, the Yeetivator has definitely been a device which I have created in the past. The elevator's going pretty good. I think I figured out the system I want to primarily be using for this. Um, I'm going to have a distance check to see if it's within like 0.01 or something. And then it'll like ignore this and do the rest of the thing. Then it'll have the door open and close animations, and then we'll have buttons to change the target floor. We should actually lerp these. You'll notice that a lot of what I tend to be doing this is slight edit, wait for Unity to compile everything for 10 seconds, and wait for it to start up, and then see what happens. That is just an unfortunate part of what we're doing at the moment. Alright, so we need a slower lerp. Just make it really slow, just to make sure it's obvious. Technically, I'm making the lerping 25 times slower than what I just had it at. So if it's not obvious now, then it's not happening. Alright, so the startup is great. The post part is not. So, if elevator.velocity.magnitude is greater than vector3.new pause oh wait, I'm the Doctor 3 vector3 dot up times new pause dot magnitude, we lerp, else we don't lerp. So this is basically saying, wait, I think we need to invert this actually. Alright, so what this is saying is if the present speed of the elevator is faster than its distance to the new position, then it can just freaking go. If it is not, then that means it needs to speed up, which allows it to lerp on startup. theoretically. So let's see how that works. After we import and compile. Ooh. This is actually looking like it's working. I am liking this. This is a functional chassis. Or chassis. I like that. I also like this song, Your Precious Moon. How's the music volume for you guys? I have it incredibly quiet on my side. It is literally at 1. I don't know what out of, but possibly 100? Alright, so now we're going to have some private things to determine what state we're going to be moving towards, through. Private. Actually, for testing, this will be public so we can access it in the editor. Public int state. I'll just start that being 0. Alright, so we're going to do a switch. So we'll be switching between the actions of what the value of that state does. And ooh, I got a burp. Oh god, have you guys ever had a... Oh, man, that was like... You know when a sneeze doesn't happen? But, oh. Man, that was weird. Switch state. Alright, so in the case that state equals 0, we'll just have it be idle, so we'll do nothing and we'll return. In the case that it's 1, we will do this stuff. And then return. We're gonna have a few other things in this that we're gonna play with because I'm gonna have an animator for the doors. Just need to make that animator. What was this folder? Oh man, I have so many done or half done projects. I don't know why VMagic Mirror keeps thinking it needs to be clicked. Maybe it thinks that every like 15 minutes or something. Alright, so we're going to make a new animation for elevator body. Elevator door open. So we're going to start this at 1, and in half that we'll go to 0. Actually no, we'll go to 0.1, 0.01. Then in elevator door close, we will start at 0.01 and at 30 go to 1. Perfect. Now, set up the controller for this. We'll default the doors to open. We'll just have a bool for open. It's true. And if open is false, I need to invert that, don't I? Yeah. All right. So now, let me just hit play so we can view this a bit, just to make sure everything's working. Oop, yeah. Loop time is enabled. A lot of my animations don't use loop time, so I wish there was a way to default that to be off. I'm liking this. This looks like a door. Perfect. Now, let's modify this inside of here. So we'll get a public, and now let's have it be private. We can just grab it from the children. Private animator. Anim. And start anim equals get component in children brackets animator. Let's have a private float state timer. Private float state timer, and this will just be a value we set so that it can know when to move in and out of different states. Those states being idle, which it'll never naturally move out of unless prompted. Door close, which will be like 1 second. Yeah, it'll typically only use the timer for the automatic ones. Man, I'm not awake. I need to get one of those TENS units so I can just zap myself whenever I start feeling tired. Actually, I probably shouldn't zap myself while wearing Bluetooth headphones. That could be detrimental. Oop. Wait, this one actually has words. Might get DMCA'd. Alright. So, if case 0 is idle state, case 1 is moving state, case 2 is closed door state, in which we'll state timer minus equals time dot time dot delta time anim dot set bool open false. We'll have a state shifting thing in some other stuff here. Public open door. No. Depart. This is not at all what I typed. Void. Okay, there we go. Public void depart. If we call depart, we'll set open to false, so we'll close the door, and we'll set state timer to equal 1 because we need to close the door, and just state equals 2. So while we're departing, it will change this into this state. If state timer is less than or equal to 0, state equals 1. So this will be, as soon as the door is closed, we'll start moving the thing. And that should be all we need for this. Actually, yeah. If transform dot if transform dot distance, is a vector 3 dot distance, vector 3 dot distance, transform dot position, target floor. Oh wait, no. Let's scroll up so I can read some of this. Floors target floor dot position is less than 0.01 f. Then we'll swap into state 0. Alright, so I've added a lot of crap here. And now, in order to test this, I need to set up a button. Oh god. Alright, let's come back in here, compile everything. Should get a few new variables, or I guess not. Yeah, we've got them all here. Alright, I'll just snag a button from one of my previous projects. UI integration, here we go. Alright. We don't need the slider. We'll just use the button. Actually, what do you do? Oh, this is, ah, Christ. Alright. Unpack prefab. We don't need that. We need send event. There we go. Doesn't need to be networked target. Elevator. Event name. Depart. Then, see, this doubles as the trigger. Okay, perfect. All right. Elevator, target floor 2. Now if we go to our button. Ooh. Okay. Let's set up. Okay. Anim. Actually, I'll just copy it from wherever I put. Here we go. True. Now I also need to change the animator a bit because we need it to default to open. Because what's more annoying than... Oh wait, it is default to open. Why did it close? Huh, oh well. All right. Elevator. Perfect. Target floor, let's go to 3. And our button closes the door. The elevator starts its ascent. It goes to the 3rd floor. And once it has eased into position, it does nothing. Unity normalize. Wait. What's that math thing where it's like, oh, you force it to be positive? Math force positive. Absolute. There we go. Absolute value. I am not a math person. Math f dot abs. Oh, it's just ABS. Okay. Alright, absolute value of this is less than that. Because we only care about the y, actually. Elevator, target floor, 3, button, scroll out, trigger. Okay, what is happening here? This position Y. Okay. Alright, I'm moving that into the apply stuff for the slowdown. See if that works. Setting open to be true. Theoretically should be what's happening. I don't know why. It's not. Ooh, oh, excuse me. I'm gonna grab another inspector because I'm locking that one on the elevator so that I have one on the button as well, so that I can set target floor to be 3 and trigger and interact here. Right, that closes and then that moves, arrives here. Then it's sliding along the road until it gets to the next floor. Yes. Can't believe it's working. Alright, so this canvas, oh, we don't need this inspector anymore. This canvas will be elevator console. Is console spelled with an E? I'll just go with no for now until someone tells me otherwise. Ah, I remember this song. This is the song that plays the first time you encounter the faith plates when you're trying to capture the box in the air. I remember that because I used it in my map where I showed off faith plates. And that video got really popular for some reason. Alright. Close door. Just call this depart. Zero 5. Now let's lock this to 0.1. Alright, so this button will be floor 1. Wait, no, this one is depart. This one will be floor 1. Alright, so I'm going to make some custom versions of these send event scripts. And by custom, I mean exact duplicates, but in my elevator folder. Oh, God. I'm going to skip over this one just because I'm too tired. Elevator, here we go. Elevator key depart. Alright, we got that one down. Now let's just have our choose floor button. Elevator key floor. Target floor. There we go. I think I need a cast to this. Alright, let's see if everything I just coded magically works. Because there's a lot of it. Alright, let's set the floor to be 2. If I go back to elevator, target floor is 2. Now let's put the console inside the elevator. And now we try our luck. Let's boot up VRChat. Avatar. Oh, I don't have VRC World in here yet. That shows you how little actual testing we've done yet. I haven't even put a VRC World object in here. Alright, while this is booting up, I got an email from Booth. Let's see what that's about. And once again, I wish that Gmail on the phone had a translate email option. Because I can highlight the entire email and then press translate. But that's dumb and hard. And then takes me out into oh god. Yeah, it doesn't even work. Oh well. I'm doing something wrong. Perfect. Always something. Yeah, the event that the buttons were calling themselves rather than my trigger was object toggle instead of send event because I started from a different base prefab. Three, depart. Ooh. Perfect. This interaction is a little bit finicky. There's like this little gap here. Keeps kicking me back. But otherwise... What the fuck? Elevator, why are you going up? Let's go down. Yeah, works is a strong term at the moment. There we go. For some reason hitting this is a bit finicky. Alright, let's start playing with a few things. One, when depart starts, RB elevator dot is kinematic equals false. However, as soon as we're done moving, elevator dot is kinematic equals true. This should make getting in and out of it a bit less dumb. Yeah, I definitely plan to add some audio effects into this, and eventually like an actual elevator model, since it's just a bunch of white blocks at the moment. But let's see what happens when we set the players. Oh no. I'm just trying to figure out why. Okay. Let's do a private. Actually, this can be private now as well. Private VRC player API player local. On start, player local equals networking dot local player. Now in here, if player local does not equal null, player local dot set velocity equals player local dot get velocity plus wait, this isn't where I need this. Alright, we'll see if that application just works. So since we're checking to see if it's null, that should mean that we don't get any issues in editor when we try to use it. Oop. Here, let's move this against an actual wall. Disable position lock and just drag it out. Perfect. Welcome back, my friend. We've had a few updates and possible functionality increases. The elevator now goes up and down to the different floors and slows and speeds up. It also has an opening door animation. So I'm going to select floor 3, trigger that, so that changes the target floor to be 3, and we press the depart button, doors close, and then it starts going up, and it'll go from 1, 2 to 3, it'll come up here, and be here. Perfect. So that check right there was to make sure that none of the set player velocity broke anything in editor. So let's come back in here. I guess it was also a check to make sure that the is kinematic checks were not trashing everything. Alright, let's go to floor 4 and depart. Whoop. Uh-oh. We have achieved infinite velocity. I am uncertain as to what happened. Alright, so we glitched out, and then the elevator came down here. I think setting the player's velocity is just going to break it. Yeah, we can't do that. Not in the present setup. Yes, elevators. They oof. Elevator dot velocity equals vector 3 lerp elevator velocity to vector 3 up times new position. Alright. I think setting it to kinematic shouldn't be a problem. Because the elevator works fine when you're going up. It does not work fine when you're going down. And that, I think, is just VRChat hating the player bumping up against a moving object that is pushing down. So let's go to floor 4 and depart. See how smooth this is? I'm presently going up, and the only way you can tell is by like the particle effects on my UI. We're up here, we can jump, we're in here. Neat. Go back in here, we glitch to the back. I don't know why. Something to do with this. It's not even consistent. If it was consistent, I'd understand it probably better. This is us going down. It's very bouncy. We've arrived. I wish they had a better player like physics thing set up. Because the reason that this elevator is god awful when you're going down is because the player physics system is god awful when dealing with weird collisions. I don't think I'll ever understand fully why they decided to go with a kinematic player controller and simulate all of the physics themselves. That sounds honestly harder to me. Oh, we're getting all bounced. Oh, where are we? I mean, it's technically working, which is the annoying part. Like, it'll give people epilepsy going down, but has that ever stopped elevator companies before? I mean, yeah, I guess I could just manually change the player's position to be their current position on the X and Z and just set their Y, and then only set that if they are inside the elevator. I wish though that I knew why we were getting this issue. This might be an issue that just goes away once I have an actual model for this elevator though. So yeah, let's oh, I like that. It'll close and then, oh, we're on the right floor, and reopen. But yeah, let's try that. Let's try forcing the player's Y position while you're in here. Oop, goodbye. Alright. So I'm just gonna have another script for this one. Elevator force Y. Yeah, I may have transcended a little bit there. Oop. Three, 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 three. Alright, we'll set you to be mirror reflections so that the player's still able to grab things and interact with things. Let's get the right thing on here. Force Y. Forget. It's that dumb thing with animators losing their ability to move things. It's probably fine, but I don't trust it, so it's not fine. Grabber. Make elevator have gravitational field. I feel like that's a bad idea. I mean, the issue is that if the player has like any Y velocity that's not correct to the exact movements of the elevator as it moves down, things go wrong. So we're just going to force their position. So let's have a private, oh, scroll in a bit. Private VRC player API player local on collision stay if other dot layer equals what's the player layer 9. This is a bad way to do this. Player local dot set velocity equals new vector 3 player local dot get velocity dot x public rigid body elevator dot velocity dot y and player local dot get velocity dot z. This should be all we need. I say should because, as always, trust nothing. That dy? I don't understand. Alright, let's test this baby. This elevator is going to be a no-fly zone, but more specifically, a no-jump zone. In fact, I may have done this wrong, and you may just instantly glitch into the floor, or it'll break the script entirely, because, hey, what is happening? Here, let's just do some player tracking. Delay because the velocity is different from the actual position change last I checked. What? Oh, wait. How am I saying player velocity? Player local dot set put I could have sworn I did set position before. I guess we can try teleport 2. I'll just take vector 3, okay. Oh wait, no, that's a bad idea. Because I'll constantly reset, like, your... Oh no, that's a horrible idea. Right, but I have to do this during on collision stay. So that's only happening while the player is in there. I guess technically I just activate a bool and then run it in the fixed update. But theoretically this should be fine. Here, how about we do it player local dot get velocity times vector 3 dot up times 5. So theoretically this wait, are we not able to? I thought you can multiply the vector 3's together. Alright, I'll just add. Yeah, so theoretically here, if we step inside, it'll pin us to the ceiling. And yeah, but I don't know what a dot product does. I've had it explained to me like a dozen times, like, oh, you can get like an angle from something, and the moment things start getting into math territory is when I start not understanding. Nothing. Why did I respawn here? Freaking elevators. I should have just done one of those like vacuum tube elevators. Those are easy. Yes, the player is kinematic. All of the physics that they run are simulated. So that's why, like, in order to get velocity from them, they have a custom command, get velocity and set velocity instead of dot velocity. But yeah, you can modify the player's velocity, absolutely. See if I put this on 10 player local instead of just player. The problem is, at the moment, I'm trying to do this without player tracking. And having player tracking is ideal because a lot of times when you try to reference the player object, it just gives you null as a security thing. I don't fully understand the security thing, but I think it has something to do with being able to like grab people's IP addresses otherwise. So I would rather have it this way. It just makes a lot of things go weird. Yeah, no pinning. Yeah, let's do custom player tracking instead of these weird layer detections. Alright, sphere. Perfect. Rigid body. There we go. Trigger. Mirror reflection. Tracking data follower? What? Okay. I guess I don't have my normal one I use in this. Player tracking. And we'll just do name equals player tracking. Oop. There's Unity. We do not need a visual coming from this. Oop. Well, I don't think that was from my thing. Let's just set this to up times 5. If this actually does nothing, then I'll have to come back to this another day. No, because if it did multiply the velocity over and over, it would have happened immediately and wouldn't have been in that direction. That was another, I touched the lip and it decided I'm going elsewhere. We may actually be done earlier tonight if logging into the servers doesn't work. Alright, because I'm restarting Unity. Alright, that worked. Great. Because of course it does. Also, why is this now clipping through everything? It wasn't before. Whatever. It's fine. Someone will deal with it in the future. It's going to be me. Well, doesn't clip through here. Perfect. Maybe it worked. Yep, that was definitely a big ol' yeet. One that I don't know how to fix. The unfortunate part is that this elevator works perfectly going up, but we're gonna have to do like a million workarounds to make it work going down for some reason. Maybe try putting the collision box outside the elevator. Just for testing right now, I take it? Yeah, might as well. This will be the last thing I test, and if this doesn't work, then that'll be it, and I'm going to bed. If this does magically work and fling me up... Wait, why am I grabbing it? I don't need this. Compile everything. Save. VRChat SDK. Builder. Build and test. Yeah, we're going to test it on our own. Just to see if I can walk over to it and possibly go up. Just going to make sure... Well, I don't know why this isn't working. Yeah, I'm not seeing any error for this player tracker. Actually, I'm not seeing like any Udon based errors. Seeing a couple errors is like, oh, this world isn't uploaded, but obviously. Well, it shouldn't be, because right now we're only multiplying it by vector 3.5 times up. Well, vector 3.up times 5, which is just essentially 050 is what we're setting your velocity to. And that is not happening. which I don't understand. Because the elevator turned kinematic, you kept velocity sync still. Right now, we are not grabbing the elevator's velocity. I do not understand. Yeah, this is definitely going to be something I come back to later when I have more of an understanding of what's happening. Because again, I just dove straight into this one knowing nothing. Yeah. I guess for now we're going to take the L on this one and come back to it in the future. My apologies to Ethan, was it, who requested this? Yeah, Ethan. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of things that I could do and play around with. It might be a bit of the issue might be the fact that it's like 95 degrees in my room right now, but who knows? Yeah, so I'm glad you guys stuck around. As always, if you have any requests for things for me to work on, like as videos, tutorials, or anything, comments, Twitter messages, just Twitter comments, like, and I'm most active on Twitter, definitely, but definitely, oh, this kind of looks like a pagoda, whatever, but yes, feel free to just shout ideas at me. Again, glad to have you around, and I'll see you all again. See ya.